Welcome to Cooking from the Cave. I'm Chef Pete Truziak, and today we're going to be doing grilled ribeye steaks. We're going to be serving this with a Mediterranean salsa, which has two of my favorite ingredients, olives as well as feta. I grew up hating olives because my sister would always scare the crap out of me by putting those black olives on her fingers and then go like this at the dinner table. But since then I've grown to love olives and also appreciate all the different types of olives out there. With that said, the more variety of olives you can use in this, the better. Now, we're going to start off with the steaks. And the grilled ribeyes, first of all, I have a grill pan heated up on my stove. I have it pretty hot on here. We're not going to do a lot to the steaks themselves except season them with salt and pepper. And I like using ribeyes because of the kernel of fat that's inside the ribeyes. It lends itself to a very flavorful as well as very tender cut of meat. We're also going to put some cracked pepper on here. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my ribeyes, add them to the pan. Again, this pan is as hot as I can get it. It's pre-seasoned, so I don't need to add a lot of oil to it. If you can hear that sizzle at home, that's a good sign. You want to have that. That means it's going to sear in that salt and pepper. It's going to cook those seasonings, and it's going to lend you a very nice, flavorful cut of meat. Now, we season the one side, so we're going to come around and season the second side. Again, with salt and pepper. And while I'm cooking that one side, I'm going to get the orzo pasta that we're going to serve underneath these ribeyes going. And very simple, you're going to cook it like any other pasta. Get your water boiling. Make sure you add salt to that water. And once it comes up to a boil, we're going to go ahead and dump our pasta in there. After 5 minutes in the grill pan here, we're going to rotate them 90 degrees. That's a good habit to get into. You see these great grill marks on here? It's a great habit to just rotate those steaks 90 degrees. I always tell people to look at your grill, whether it's a grill pan or a grill outside, look at it as a clock. 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Our steaks were running 12 to 6. Now they're going to run 9 to 3. I'm going to let them cook on this side for another 3 minutes. So a total of 8 minutes on that side, and then we'll go ahead and flip them over. In the meantime, while that's cooking, let me show you how to make our Mediterranean salsa. I have 1 cup of mixed pitted olives. I have a combination of 1 full pepper, but I have a half of a yellow and a half of a red bell pepper chopped up. I have 3 cloves of garlic. I have a half a cup of diced grape tomatoes. You can use cherry tomatoes as well if you wanted to. Half a red onion. You could also use Vidalia onions if your sweet onions are in season at this point. I'm going to take a good heaping, so maybe 2 tablespoons of chopped parsley and 3 tablespoons of sliced green onions, a half a cup of feta. This is feta, crumble feta. We're just going to stir this up. Now, the moisture from your olives as well as your peppers are really going to start to, break the other ingredients down, especially that feta. Don't over stir this, but stir this enough so it's evenly combined. And if you over stir feta, what happens is it'll start to really get milky on you. You don't want that. Add some pepper to this. Maybe 2 pinches of salt. And we're going to set this aside until we're ready to use it. Alright, so after 8 minutes on that one side, we're going to flip our steaks over. You get the nice cross marks and everything. And now we're going to let it cook for another 5 minutes on this side, and then we'll rotate them again those 90 degrees. Alright, so I'm going to rotate our steaks one last time for the last 2 minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to get our pasta ready. I strained it in between the last flip and rotation of the meat. We're going to add a little bit of parsley, a little bit of the green onions, And the pasta's still hot. And I'm going to just toss it in a little bit of olive oil. And you want to do it while the pasta's still hot so that starch in the noodles will actually grab hold of not only the parsley, the green onions, but also that olive oil, giving you a great base, a beautiful color there. Always season it a little bit too. And we can come back to our steaks here. And with any protein, remember what I always say, let it rest. So we're going to pull these guys off, put them on our cutting board. They're looking great. And we're going to let them rest for roughly about 5 minutes before I slice it. And again, slice it across the grain. Alright, we're going to plate up now. And we're going to start off with doing some orzo on the plate. You can really use any sort of pasta, but I like the orzo in this. It almost acts as a complete meal in itself with that olive oil and the herbs on it. But then you add the steak to it, it's great. Feel free, if you want to slice the steak up, again, make sure you cut it across the grain. I did that for my son. For myself and my wife, probably just have the full steak on the plate. You typically see it this way in the restaurants. Work with the steak being as hot as possible so that feta cheese on top just starts to slowly melt. Some more salsa at the bottom. And there you go, grilled ribeyes, Mediterranean salsa, some herb orzo. A wonderful dish. I know you're going to love this one. I can't wait to dig in. Thanks for watching Cooking from the Cave. I'm Chef Pete Trzak. I will see you real soon.